Google Ads has a whole section dedicated to recommendations. And if you're not careful, this area can absolutely ruin your account. While some of these suggestions are helpful on the surface, a lot of them are just designed to get you to spend more money and not actually get better results. So in this video, I'll show you exactly what the Google Ads recommendations tab really does, which recommendations you should ignore, and how to spot a few that can actually improve your performance. Hey everyone, it's Axel here, and in today's video, I'm gonna go through the Google Ads recommendations section and why you have to be careful when going in here. So to find this section, what you do in your Google Ads account, you just click this tab right here that says recommendations, and this is an area on Google where Google will give you an optimization score. I'll touch on that at the end of the video, as well as a bunch of different recommendations that you can apply to your ads. So what I'm gonna do in this video is I'm gonna go through every single recommendation that you might see come up and label which ones are bad and which ones are good. And if you stick around until the end, I'll talk a little bit about this optimization score and why you should ignore it, and give you 2 other tips that can instantly improve the performance in your ad account. So I'll start by labeling all the good ones, and then I'll get into the bad ones. So for the first one, I'm gonna talk about the adding new keywords recommendation right here, and also the remove redundant keywords. So this is a section where essentially Google is telling you you should add these new keywords because you don't have enough keywords in your campaign, or it's telling you the opposite, which is remove these keywords because they're of no use. This recommendation is not so bad. You just have to be careful with it. If you're going to remove some of the keywords, make sure that those keywords are currently not spending anything and they're not actually getting you a good result. If they're spending $0, then you're good to remove it. And then when it comes to adding new keywords, this is also a good suggestion, but only do this if your current performance is on the low side and your account is not fully spending. And if you do this, make sure that you don't just apply the recommendation. Make sure you read every single keyword it recommends that you add into the campaign. Make sure they're relevant, and if it looks good, from there you can add it in. Now the second type of recommendation is the fix your something. So in this case, it's disapprove site links. This could say ads or call outs or anything that's broken in the account. This is definitely a good recommendation too. It pretty much triggers when something in your account has broken. So if it's a website URL that is no longer active, or a site link that no longer works, anything of the sort, if you see one of these, definitely read into it and then fix that issue. That way it runs smoothly. Another one, which I currently don't have on my screen, but it's similar to this one right here, and that's when it says remove conflicting negative keywords. Now this is probably the best recommendation there is, because it's pretty much telling you that you manually made a mistake. What this means is that you have a negative keyword that is the exact same as one of your keywords. This usually happens when you accidentally add a keyword as a negative keyword by accident in your account. And if you do this, what will happen is that keyword will never spend, because you are telling at the same time for Google to not spend on that keyword. So if you ever see that notification come up, you don't even need to look at the description, just click apply in order to remove all these conflicting negative keywords. The next type of recommendation is like one of these, where it says add images to your ads, or add an asset or extension to your ads. So it might say site links, call outs, structured snippets, anything of the sort. This is also a good recommendation. I'm a huge fan of using extensions to your ads as long as they are relevant, because number one, they make your ad take up more space. They make it more relevant, and it just increases the likelihood of someone clicking on your ad and converting. So in most cases, you're better off using extensions than not using them. And so when it's prompting you to add a certain type of extension, such as images right here, I highly suggest you go with that recommendation. Another type is when Google tells you to improve either your responsive display ads or your responsive search ads. Now, this one I used to fully ignore until about 5 years ago, but more recently now, the quality of your ad matters a lot more. Back in the day, you used to be able to just run ads which were on a poor standing and it wouldn't make any difference and you would get a good result out of them. Nowadays, Google takes your ad quality much more into consideration, and it's very important that your ads are either on a good or an excellent standing. Good at a minimum. It doesn't have to be excellent every single time. So in this case, if it's prompting you to do this, it's usually because one of your ads or some of your ads are on either a poor or an average standing, and you want to bump that score up to at least a good. So make sure you check out the recommendation. It'll probably prompt you to add some auto-generated headlines. Make sure you don't do this and just add some of your own relevant headlines instead, which are similar to your keywords. And just by adding a couple more, you should be able to bump up that ad quality score. This can be a good way to improve your cost per result, because sometimes when you improve your quality score, Google in return rewards you with a lower cost per click, which automatically makes your cost per conversion lower. And then the final positive recommendation it often gives to you is one of these, which is create a performance max campaign. Now for this, you actually have to be very careful. If you are doing lead gen or book demos, I would stay away from this entirely and pretty much just don't use a performance max campaign. They often result in a very low lead quality. You're better off using non-branded search campaigns instead. However, if you are doing e-com and you do not have a Pmax campaign, make sure you have a Pmax campaign. This should be the main growth driver type of campaign that's within your account, targeting mainly a new customer base. For ecom nowadays, I think it's absolutely necessary to have a Pmax campaign, and it's the easiest way to scale your business by acquiring new customers. So if you're running ecom and you don't have a Pmax campaign and you see one of these come up, definitely set one up. Okay, so that's it for all the good recommendations. Now we're gonna walk through all the bad ones. But before I do that, if you like this video so far, feel free to give me a subscribe and a like down below. That way you're posted on all my newest videos to come. Okay, now for the bad recommendations and the ones you really have to look out for. The first one is the budget recommendation, and this is very often the first recommendation that will come up. Nowadays, it is not a surprise that Google always says this. Google's primary revenue source is from its ads, and so they make more money when you spend more on ads. And so it's not unusual to see Google recommending that you spend more on your ads. This is a very dangerous recommendation. In my opinion, you should not spend more just because Google is telling you to spend more. You should only spend more on your ads if two things apply. You have a good return on ad spend or a low CPA, and your results are consistent and above your target. And number two, you are comfortable spending more on ads. If you're not comfortable spending more and if your results are not good enough, don't scale your ads. Keep optimizing them until you're in a better place and then scale them when you're ready. And don't just apply this because Google is telling you to. It's pretty much just a sneaky way for Google to get you to spend more money and therefore make more revenue on their end. The next one that very often comes up is it prompts you to set up either a target CPA or a target ROAS to your ads. Now this can be actually quite good if you're doing ecom. However, if you're doing lead gen, I would be very careful about this, especially if you're in a brand new ads account. A lot of the time, a tCPA and a target ROAS can actually stabilize the account performance that you're currently seeing. However, before you use a tCPA or a target ROAS, it's important that you get a minimum amount of conversions and that your account has been running for at least 2 or 3 months to get a baseline. So then you're telling Google directly what kind of result is actually possible in order for it to actually give you a more efficient and stable result. Until that happens, you should stay away from this because it can often just make your campaigns drop to zero spend, which is never really what you want. A lot of the time, you'll open up a new account, start a campaign, and within 2 or 3 days, it'll prompt you to start a tCPA. In my opinion, that's absolutely crazy, and you don't want to be setting up a tCPA within 2 days of a campaign running. You always want to let it run for at least a couple weeks, find that baseline CPA, and then from there, you're good to set up a tCPA. Now, the next recommendation I suggest you stay away from is this one right here, which is turn on AI Max for search campaigns. Unless you're an extremely seasoned media buyer and you already have a lot of campaigns which are performing well, I would stay away from this. If you have a lot of campaigns which are currently performing very well and you want to build an extra campaign as a split test with this turned on, by all means, go for it. But most of the time, you're way better off going full manual, drafting up your own custom keywords, writing your own headlines and descriptions which are relevant instead of letting Google take full control. The algorithm, in my opinion, is not up to speed enough to actually have this worth it. I think in the future, this might actually be a good recommendation, but for now, I would stay away from this. Next one here is use the display expansion. So this is a recommendation that you should just 100% of the time never turn on. For your search campaigns, this pretty much never works. I've managed probably about $40 to $50 million in Google ad spend until now, and I've never actually seen this work and provide a good, meaningful result. Pretty much every single time, it doesn't matter the niche, whether you're doing lead gen or ecom, turn this off. It's a complete waste of money, so just don't use it. The next one, which isn't necessarily a bad one, but you do have to be careful, is the add broad match keywords. Only do this if your account is really struggling. If you're already using phrase match and exact match and your results are good and that you're using phrase and exact for a specific reason, do not turn this on. It will very often hurt the performance of your campaign. However, there are certain use cases where a broad match with the correct implementation of a lot of negative keywords on your campaign can be actually quite good and give you a lower CPC. But if you're gonna do this, make sure that you test it out in either a different ad set or a different campaign to keep your spend under control. In a case where you're already doing really well with just phrase and exact, then just stay away from it entirely. So that's it for the recommendations. There's a couple other small ones that very rarely come up, but the ones that I went through cover about 95% of the ones you'll see come up in your ad account. Now to end this video, I'm gonna give you 3 tips which can dramatically improve the performance of your ad account. The first thing I'm gonna talk about is the Google reps. So Google hires a lot of Google reps and they will reach out to you either via phone or an email. and act like a strategist and want to get on a Zoom call with you in order to improve the performance of your account, my suggestion right here is don't answer their phone calls and don't answer their emails. And if you do, don't show up to the call. And if you do show up to the call, then don't do anything they ask you to do. A lot of the time, these Google reps are unfamiliar with your niche and they're unfamiliar with running ads in the first place. And they're pretty much just like a sales rep trying to get you to spend more. And what they do on these calls is they pretty much don't give you advice. They just bring you to this recommendation section right here, and they just suggest to you to apply every single one. So it's one of the ways that Google uses to pressure you into applying some of these recommendations, including the budget one. So that's the first tip. Just don't answer the Google reps, don't answer their phone calls, and just ignore them. The second tip is ignore this optimization score right here. So this is another pressure element that Google adds to the recommendation section. So right now you can see that my optimization score is 62.9%. And it tells me that if I adjust my budgets and increase them, then my optimization score will go up by 8.6%. Let's say I click this and I click dismiss and I just click on dismiss. Notice how my optimization score went up anyway, even though I dismissed the recommendation, pretty much meaning that this number is completely meaningless. I've seen a lot of different accounts that perform super well on a very high optimization score. I've also seen a bunch of different accounts that perform very well on an optimization score of about 40%. It really doesn't matter. This number really doesn't mean anything at all, so I would just ignore it. And now for the final tip. This is probably the most important setting you have to have turned off every single time in your Google ad account, and that is the auto recommendations toggles. So to view this, you want to click on view list right here, click on auto apply settings, and you want to make sure that you see a 0 out of 8 here and a 0 out of 14. You also want to double check this by clicking here and seeing that none of these ads are ticked, and going here and doing the same thing. If any one of these boxes are ticked, untick the box and click save. What these boxes do is they auto apply all of the recommendations that I just spoke about. And like I said, a lot of them are actually quite harmful to your ad account, and you definitely don't want Google to just be auto applying this stuff for you. So make sure that whether your ad account has been running for 2 years or if it's brand new, that you go into this section and making sure that all of these boxes are blank and that your auto recommendations is turned off. So that's it for today's video. Hopefully that gives you a good rundown of what the recommendations tab is and why you have to be careful when going into this area. And hopefully it can prevent you from making any bad mistakes in your ad account. Now, if you're looking for someone to just run your ads for you or run your Google ad campaigns for you, feel free to use the link in the description below. That way the two of us can have a chat. And if there's any recommendations I missed that you want me to talk about, or if you have any questions, feel free to drop that in the comments below as well. Apart from that, I hope you like this video and I'll see you on the next one.